Luffy is cast at sea in a barrel. Sailors on a passing cruise ship retrieve the barrel, but the ship is attacked with cannon fire by a nearby pirate ship led by Alvida. The barrel is sent rolling into the kitchen. Once the cruise ship's sails have been destroyed, the Alvida pirates board the ship to plunder its goods, and Alvida also forces one of her chore boys, Kobe, to board the ship. Meanwhile, the girl takes advantage of the opportunity and sneaks aboard the Alvida pirates' ship to steal its treasures. Kobe and other pirates notice the barrel in the kitchen and find Luffy inside, who was sleeping. After Luffy defeats the hostile pirates, he goes with Kobe to the pantry to eat the stored food. Luffy explains that he set sail to become a pirate, but his dinghy was destroyed by a whirlpool and he was left trapped at sea in a barrel. Kobe explains that he was riding on a rowboat, but was kidnapped by the Alvida pirates and forced to become a chore boy. He explains his desires to escape the Alvida pirates someday and join the Marines. Alvida is informed of Luffy's presence and, out of suspicion that he could be a bounty hunter, confronts him and Kobe in the pantry. This triggers a battle on the ship, but Luffy defeats the pirates. Although Alvida is armed with a large spiked club, her attacks are rendered ineffective as Luffy ate a devil fruit, granting him a superhuman ability that gives his body rubber-like properties. Using a Gomu Gomu no pistol attack, Luffy defeats Alvida, sending her flying off the ship and into the sea. Luffy boards a dinghy with Kobe to continue his travels, catching a glimpse of the female burglar who was also departing the ship on her own dinghy. Luffy aims towards the Grand Line to search for the One Piece treasure, but first looks to recruit the infamous pirate hunter Roronoa Zoro into his crew. Luffy and Kobe arrive at Shelltown, a town where a marine base is stationed. They find their target, Roronoa Zoro, crucified at the base. A small girl, Rika, sneaks into the base to offer Zoro onigiri, but she is stopped by Helmeppo, a snobbish man who destroys the onigiri. However, Zoro later eats the dirt-stained rice. Outside the marine base, Rika reveals that the town was run by a tyrannical Captain Morgan, who allowed his son, Helmeppo, to regularly abuse his citizens. One day, Helmeppo brought a hostile wolf into a bar which attacked the customers and ate their food. When Zoro attacked Helmeppo for his cruelty, Helmeppo threatened to execute all customers in the bar unless Zoro turned himself into the Marines, where he would be crucified for 1 month. Later, Helmeppo reveals that he intended to execute Zoro, violating the deal he had struck with him. Luffy assaults him for his dishonesty, then heads towards the marine base to locate Zoro's confiscated katanas. As Morgan orders his men to erect a large statue of himself on the base's rooftop, Luffy launches himself towards the rooftop, accidentally destroying the statue in the process. Luffy grabs Helmeppo and flees, searching the building and locating the katanas. Meanwhile, the girl who robbed the Alvida pirates' ship also infiltrates the marine base to steal its goods. Meanwhile, Kobe attempts to free Zoro from the cross, but is spotted by Morgan, who orders his men to open fire on them both. They are stopped by Luffy, who deflects the bullets with his rubber body. Luffy returns the katana to Zoro, who uses them to free himself and repel the Marines' attacks. He agrees to join Luffy's crew should he survive. Despite being clearly overpowered by Luffy's devil fruit power and Zoro's three-sword style, Morgan orders his men to attack them. Morgan himself joins the battle, with his right hand being replaced by an axe blade. Despite Luffy overpowering Morgan, Helmeppo holds Kobe hostage, threatening to shoot him. Meanwhile, as Luffy is distracted, Morgan attempts to attack him from behind. Luffy punches Helmeppo in the face and Zoro cuts Morgan down, preventing him from harming Luffy. The Marines, who were aware of Morgan's numerous abuses of power, decide not to continue the battle, instead dishonorably discharging and arresting their own captain. Luffy, Zoro, and Kobe go to a restaurant to celebrate their victory. Kobe explains how the world is divided. The world is divided into west and east by a continent called the Red Line, and the Grand Line is a linear sea perpendicular to the Red Line. Legendary pirate Gold Roger claimed he had hidden his treasure at the very end of the Grand Line. Ripper, the Marine who had succeeded Morgan as the new base commander, confronts Luffy. He agrees to accept Kobe into the Marines upon his request. However, due to Luffy and Zoro's statuses as pirates, he orders them both to leave the town, only promising not to inform headquarters as a gesture of gratitude. Luffy and Zoro agree, and they both continue their travels. Meanwhile, the girl searches the marine base for a map of the Grand Line. She discovers that the map had been stolen by another pirate, Buggy. She sets sail to confront Buggy and retrieve his map. The burglar girl's dinghy is discovered by 3 Buggy pirates while at sea. Pretending to be a desperate, stranded woman, she lures the pirates on her boat with promises of treasure. However, she secretly boards the Buggy pirates' boat and sails away from them without their knowledge. The ship the pirates are on capsizes from a windstorm. Meanwhile, Luffy and Zoro sail towards their next destination, but Luffy loses his signature straw hat when the boat jostles. Zoro recovers the hat, and its significance to Luffy is explained. In his childhood, Luffy befriended Shanks, a pirate captain residing in his home village. While Luffy and the red hair pirates were at a bar, Luffy unknowingly ate the Gomu Gomu no Me, a devil fruit Shanks had acquired during his travels. Upon eating the fruit, Luffy's body immediately gained rubber-like properties, but he had permanently lost the ability to swim. However, Luffy was terrorized and threatened by Higuma and his group of mountain bandits. Although Shanks and his pirates came to his aid, Higuma escaped, abducting Luffy. Higuma sailed out to sea on a small rowboat and threw Luffy into the sea for him to drown. However, a Sea King, a carnivorous sea monster, appeared and devoured Higuma whole, threatening to target Luffy next. Shanks rescued Luffy, but he lost his left arm in the process. Eventually, the red hair pirates departed from Fuchsia Village and set sail for the Grand Line. Just before he left, Shanks entrusted Luffy with his straw hat for him to protect. Throughout the years, Luffy cherished his hat to remind him of his idol. Back to the present day, Luffy is abducted by a bird and sent flying away. The Buggy pirates, who were left stranded in the sea, discover Zoro's rowboat, board it, and attempt to hijack it, but are swiftly defeated by him. The Buggy pirates explain that Buggy is a fearsome pirate with his own devil fruit ability. Meanwhile, the bird lets go of Luffy after being shot down by cannon fire, causing Luffy to fall into Buggy's territory. He meets the female thief for the first time, who had stolen the map and was being pursued by Buggy pirates. The girl introduces herself as Nami, a thief targeting and stealing from pirates. After collaborating with Luffy to escape from the Buggy pirates, they find refuge at a restaurant, where Nami reveals her goal of collecting 100 million berries for an unknown cause. She then goes on and reveals her navigation skills. Nami betrays Luffy, tying him up and handing him over to the Buggy pirates as a gesture of goodwill. Buggy accepts, locks Luffy into a cage, and prepares a Buggy Ball, a powerful, explosive cannonball. Buggy's pirates fire the cannon into the distance, destroying an entire row of houses. Zoro, who has just arrived at the town, notices the explosion. Buggy then orders Nami to fire a Buggy Ball at Luffy, but she refuses to do so. Another pirate lights the cannon's fuse for her, but Nami extinguishes the fuse with her bare hands, burning herself. Buggy orders his pirates to attack her. Zoro arrives at her aid and attacks Buggy, cutting off his hand and leg. However, Buggy's dismembered hand stabs Zoro from behind, then reattaches itself to Buggy's arm. He reveals that he ate the Bara Bara no Me, allowing him to split himself into pieces, control them, and reattach them. Despite this, Zoro runs to the cannon, readjusts it to aim at the Buggy pirates, and allows Nami to reignite the fuse, firing the cannon. Having warded off the Buggy pirates, a wounded Zoro drags Luffy's cage to a local pet food shop. The mayor appears and takes Zoro into his house to nurse his wounds. Meanwhile, Luffy interacts with Chow Chow, a dog defending the shop. The mayor explains that Chow Chow's owner passed away from illness, so he continues to defend the deceased owner's store as a memento. Although Nami arrives with the key to Luffy's cage, Chow Chow eats the key before the cage could be unlocked.